I got a news bombshell that literally right before we went live. I'm going to give a shout out to Marty McFly. He's actually in the chat right now.
Oh shit!
What I missed?
You guys don't even know about this. This is something that
No
just
idea.
dropped. It has to do. Let's go ahead and get you guys over here. Okay, this just literally dropped within the last couple of hours. I think I don't think it's the biggest, but it's a development. Okay, because everybody's talking about the Crystal Lake series that's coming out. I mean, we talk about Friday the 13th because they just give us a little nugget, a little carrot every time, and we try to build something around it. But he sent this to me, and I was like, you know what, this is worth talking about. So we'll open with this. Friday the 13th, first news on Crystal Lake series filming schedule and discovered shooting location. This is from Friday the 13th franchise.com. Okay, and this is June 9th today. All right, so the new Friday the 13th streaming series Crystal Lake is mere weeks away from the first filming taking place, and I'm very excited to see the first official project of the franchise begin production since 2008. When Friday the 13th, 2009. By the way, my Friday the 13th, 2009 revisited, it might be up tonight. I'm about 60% through it. It's over 20 minutes long for sure.
You're still not a fan, right? Or no, you are a fan.
I'm not going to tell you. Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch the video.
You got to watch the video, Nick. Okay.
Fair.
Brad Caleb Kane is the showrunner steering the streaming ship for the franchise. That's a tongue twister. And thus far, we have official casting announcements for Linda Cardellina and William Catlett. That's stuff we already know. On site, we were made aware of casting calls related to Crystal Lake for actors in late April, for which we discovered the working title of the shows is Mama's Boy. At this point, it was finally confirmed that the series will be filming in New Jersey and in the summer of 2025. It was great to have the confirmed what we had been told this past winter. Now, even more casting calls have been discovered thanks to fellow fan on Twitter that goes by the handle Festi1986. Here is the new information we have for the show based on their information. Now, the source is Festi1986. Good job, Lee. Okay, here we go. Hey, this is Friday the 13th franchise.com. Okay. The show is set in the 1970s, but multiple organizations reference the year 1971 specifically. Damn. Is that something we knew before? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
We figured they were going to change. I think a lot of people figured they were going to change the timeline, right? Because he originally dies in the early 60s, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s. So yeah, I think people just sort of assume that, but it's great to get that confirmation.
So this won't be canon then. This
is its own thing.
Potentially building off a new starting point. A new starting point.
Yeah. I think they're rebuilding the foundation here, and I think that's kind of the way to go. It's something that Vincent DeSanti was saying when he appeared on my channel for the Friday the 13th Part 5 watch party. He was like, they just need to reset everything and give us like a brand new launching point, make Pamela like flesh her character out more and just give us a fresh reboot.
All right, let me run through these next two. The first week of filming, which looks to begin June 18th, that is next week, I think, will take place in West Milford, New Jersey. There are a large number of principal and background characters filling these first couple of days, which look to make some of the settings very likely to be a camp. Well, big surprise there. Below is a breakdown of various characters that were being cast in past several weeks for the first days of filming, which begin June 18th. Partying, kissing, and friend teens for the 1970s. 70s summer camp kids. Oh, so there's going to be kids in this one. Okay.
Nice. Yes.
1970s swimming campers, experienced lifeguards, canoeing, and archery camp counselors. Okay. So I think the big takeaway there is that it is confirmed to be set in the early 70s, and it is confirmed to be shooting starting next week. So I don't think I need to read anything else there. Okay,
guys, I think it's crazy to say that we can actually say, unless the plug gets pulled in the next 10 days, we are going to get Friday the 13th content very soon.
Man. Fingers crossed.
Wild to say. Yeah, wild.
That is really wild. Damn it. And I wanted this to be set in the 70s, and I'm happy that it is now. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Would you care? Would you want it to be set modern day?
No, 60s, 70s sounds good to me. I actually was hoping for the 60s. I really was. I love the 60s. I don't know.
Me too.
I didn't live through it, but I love it. But 70s is almost as good. I like that a lot. Just as long as we're not doing the 80s. Like, that's been done to death at this point.
It's been done to death.
By the time I watched Fear Street Prom Queen, I was like, okay, we're done. We have to stop.
Yeah.
Like, we have to stop this.
I just love that 70s vibe. Like, I was watching this Giallo movie. God, what is it? It's about this two sisters, and the one she kills 7 people, and the last person's supposed to be her sister. I can't. Dave Vanderhoff recommended it to me. I have the DVD. Damn it, I can't remember. Somebody in the chat might know what I'm talking about. 1972, I think, Giallo film. Sisters. One of them kills 7, and also every time you go live, you just draw a freaking blank. But Sybil Danning, a very young Sybil Danning, and I'm sure you guys know who she is in this movie. You know, she's a freaking horror legend. So somebody will let me know. But yeah,
I'm looking in the chat. I'm not seeing it. No one said it.
Nobody knows it. Man, that's driving me crazy. Damn it. Oh well. Davey, what are your thoughts on this? Are you excited for Friday or what?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been kind of giving these people a lot of shit, with all the false starts and the fact that we got news. I think originally they announced that this show was going to happen. I think it was 2022 when they initially said, I think it was fall of 2022. So whole bunch of false starts. Looks like, I mean, they finally have everything figured out. The pre-production is all, getting wrapped up, and, principal photography starting here. I don't know. I would be so shocked if we had anything ready by this fall. That would be like such a quick turnaround. But I do love I like the idea of doing the 70s, because if Jason's a kid in the 70s, then that we're going to see, that play out with him as a child. And if they use this as canon for any films moving forward, the films would take place in the 80s. You would have adult Jason in the 80s. So, and I'm right there with you. Like, 60s is great, but there is something about that 70s camp. I feel like that's like really when it popped off. The hairstyles from the 70s are awesome. The little booty shorts and small t-shirts, I love it. Like the tube socks with the yellow rings around them. Like I don't know what it is. Camper chicks, specifically from the 70s and 80s, really do it for me. If I've got a thing,
they didn't wear bras.
It's amazing. And I love the hair. That's like one thing I love about whenever I see like what's her name, Sophie Thatcher. I'm like, oh, I love your wild 70s hair, girl. Get it all over me. So I'm really excited for this, and really excited that it's actually happening. Like Nick said, unless we get bad news within the next week and a half, this train is going to be rolling.
Jason from Friday Part 1 to Friday Part 2 is the biggest mystery in the entire franchise. Just because they never really specify that timeline that well, and he just all of a sudden is, we don't even know if he's a teenager. He could, and then you got 2, 3, and 4 taking place over 3 consecutive days. He looks like he's 50. So I'm just wondering how this show is going to because they're going to have an adult Jason eventually. Mm-hmm. So how are they going to handle that span of time?
I was going to say, I remembered. I would anticipate this comes out next summer, and I think it should release in the summer. I really do.
Yeah, The Red Queen Kills 7 Times. That's a Giallo title for you, if I ever heard one. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, this movie's great. I love it. But I love Italian horror Giallo films. And this is it's definitely fits that recipe. The really whacked out. They go a little bit more ambitious than they should plots in these movies. But The Red Queen Kills 7 Times.
I don't know. There's some Giallo movies that there is no plot.
That's true too.
As Christian put it to me when I had to do research and watch dozens of them leading up to when we finally did an Italian horror episode, he was like, these movies are mostly just nightmares. Like that's their point. They're gonna they want to gross you out. They want to give you imagery that'll stick with you. If you try to focus on the plot in some of these, you're gonna be lost.
Yeah, you're gonna be lost.
Buddy, was I?
But then there's really fun ones like Blood and Black Lace. That's like a
Yeah.
Tarantino. Like,
my
kind of
favorite
vibe
looking
that I
movie,
got from
too.
that one.
My favorite was Opera. I mean, that was my absolute
Oh,
favorite.
Opera's great.
Opera's amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many
Deep
great
Red, Opera, and then I think one that I really enjoy but doesn't have much of a plot is A Bay of Blood, Twitch of the Death Nerve, whatever you want to call it.
Classic.
That movie's wild.
It's wild.
That is a wild movie.
And nobody's mentioned Tenebrae yet, which is one
Oh,
of my
yeah.
all-time favorites.
Very good.
That-
I really liked
Mhm.
that one too.
one of the coolest scores I've ever heard. And
if
as
I'm
far
not
as
mis-
like
if I'm not
Giallo
mistaken,
endings, twist endings go, for some reason, at least me, I can never remember. Like 2 minutes after I turn the movie off, I can never remember what happened in the twist ending because they're just so whacked out. But
Yeah.
the ending of I think the ending of Tenebrae is one of the best Giallo twist endings, just for how whacked out crazy. I won't spoil it here, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Tenebrae is a great gateway Italian horror movie because it takes place in the 80s. It definitely has that 80s vibe to it, but it's full on Giallo too. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're talking Giallo, JG Michael, dude. Every chance, I would love to do like a Giallo just full on stream. That'd be a blast. But Pieces, even though Pieces isn't technically because it's a Spanish movie, I think. But you got this.
Yeah, if you have the style, if you have
It's got the style,
if
for
you have
sure.
all the tenants, it's
Yeah.
like
That's one of my favorites too, though, just because it does not hold back. And then out of nowhere, they got this karate dude that just happened to be on set, and they were like, "Oh, let's throw him in a scene," and he just starts karate kicking one of the characters in the movie just out of nowhere. And I'm like, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
even I would say even something like what is it, Dress to Kill by Brian De Palma. I think that's an American Giallo film. Like it has all the pieces. It's yeah.
I mean,
one last thing on.
You could pull this to Malignant. Malignant is very Giallo inspired, and it's a great freaking movie, and it's directed by James Wan. So you can see that influence still to this day. Even John Carpenter. Basically, I'd have to dig it up, but I think I read somewhere that he was influenced by Deep Red for the original Halloween. Yeah, of course the story's completely different, but as far as like the whole mood and the tone of the movie, he was inspired. Yeah. And there's even a scene that where a character is being drowned that's similar to the hot tub scene in Halloween 2 in Deep Red. So you could trace like Friday Part 2 to Twitch of the Death Nerve with stealing that kill. We owe so much to Italian horror. It's just a gift. Well, hello there. You just watched an outrageous clip from the Hit the Bricks podcast. I really hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more clips, you can click here or you can click here. And you can just have yourself a ball, all right? And also follow the Hit the Bricks podcast on Spotify as well. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.